Hey everybody, this is Brian from PrimoChill. Just wanted to shoot a quick video today on our brand new PrimoChill wet bench. This wet bench has been in the works for about 6 to 8 months now. We really wanted to come out with a bench that was super easy to put together, super easy to use, and look kind of cool. So we came up with the wet bench. As you can see, here's the white wet bench, all white. Comes in tons of different color combinations, different color tops. See our website for more of that information. Just want to kind of cover today on how to actually put the bench together, what the actual different parts are in the bench, and how everything kind of comes together, and so we can get it ready for you to put your hardware in it. So just want to quick go over these are called uprights. And these are identical, so no matter what side you put them on, left or right, it doesn't really matter. They are identical to each other, and these are called uprights. This here is what we call the middle shelf, and this shelf is used for spacing and support for the rest of the bench itself. As you can see, we have a bunch of pass-through holes, a bunch of small holes here for mounting solid state drives and normal hard drives. On this side you'll see we have pass-throughs for the PSU wires. When we designed this bench, we did not design it to have the PSU mounted directly to the bench. We felt it added too much weight to the bench. We didn't like that we had to add a bunch of different holes depending on the power supply and its size and its length and whatnot. So we really decided that the power supply itself would best go underneath the bench itself. So that's the middle tray. And all of these holes here and the slits and everything we'll show you in a later video on how actually you can mount your hard drives, where the hard drives can go, CD-ROMs and so on. Back here you'll see the radiator mount. And what this radiator natively supports is a 3 by 120 or a 3 by 140 radiator. The spacing for the 120 millimeter fans is 15 mil, and the spacing for the 140s is 16 mil. So kind of just want to make sure that the radiator that you're using on here, is kind of compatible with that mounting spacing of the fans and whatnot. So this is acrylic. This can be drilled out, so if you have a different spacing on your radiator, or if you want to turn radiators vertically and run them this way, you can easily drill additional holes. Just be careful when you do so, so you don't break this. So that's the radiator spacing, radiator plate that goes in the back of the system to hold the radiator in place. And this here is the motherboard tray. And basically this is where your motherboard mounts, all your switches, pass-through holes for your tube, or pass-through ports you can put on here. All your switches you can put here, and then just an opening here for your wire pass-throughs. Over here you'll see a bunch of the clips that we're going to be sending with the kit. These clips are included with it. Basically you'll have a bunch of extras of these, but these clips are used to assemble the bench. We don't use screws. There's no threads in the system, so everything's done with a clip system. You'll also see here, these are supports for CD-ROMs and hard drives to be mounted underneath the bench. You'll see in all the pictures that the bench has these two sitting underneath for mounting hard drives and CD-ROMs. So we'll go into more depth on this on another video on how these actually get mounted, how your CD-ROMs go in there and whatnot. But in this video, we're not going to cover a lot of that. And last but not least is the GPU support. Now this GPU support is mounted underneath the motherboard, so we don't have any racks that go up over the PCIs so you can screw them down. We didn't like that look. We wanted to keep a real sleek look. So these actually get mounted, this gets mounted directly under the motherboard, and you can see that there's 7 slits in here. And the PCI bracket itself just presses into these. And as it presses in, it tightens up and doesn't allow the card to sway left to right. So, which is kind of important with the, you know, the heavier cards that we have, or the cards that have like a GPU block on them or whatnot. So I'll show you how this is actually installed here in a second. Other than that, I'm just going to go ahead and start assembling the bench. Again, you don't need any screwdrivers, you don't need any pliers, you don't need any, you know, anything. You just need 2 hands. So the best thing about this is the uprights. They're identical, so you don't have to worry about left or right. Simply take your your middle shelf and install it into the slits on the side. And basically what you're going to do from here, see if I can get a good angle for you guys, is just take your clips, install your clip into the hole like so. You do a third one, and you'll go ahead and set that down, and then grab 3 more clips because you're going to do the same on this side. Just going to set it in like so, and you're going to add your 3 clips. Now you can see that the bench is kind of wobbly a little bit. You know, this is kind of by design. It's the way we designed it. You know, once everything is put together, you know, the motherboard tray, the radiator, so on and so forth, this doesn't move at all. So, you know, don't think, oh my gosh, this is going to wobble, I don't want to put my hardware on it. It's not the case. So as you see, we have the middle shelf and the 2 uprights installed. Now we're going to install the radiator tray. This is basically for mounting all your radiators in the rear of the system. You'll see here there's a tab and then a pass-through where the clip's going to go. So we just go ahead and put this on here, simple like that. Add a clip, like so. Come to this side, add another clip. And as you can see, by just adding that back bracket, this bench barely moves now. So now with that installed in the rear, this is kind of what we call here the base unit. And this base unit, you know, comes in 3 different colors. It comes in white, black, and clear. So this is what we consider the base unit. So once you have your base unit together, next thing to come on is your motherboard tray, and you'll see here at the top on the motherboard tray that there's a cutout, because this matches up with the little indent, the little protrusion here back here of the radiator mount. So this has support here in the center. So this simply goes on like this, clip in the back there, that little, and then this gets 2 clips, one on this side and one on this side. So now you can see this bench doesn't move, there's no wobble to it, and the bench is pretty much built, aside from adding your hardware. Next thing I want to cover real quick, and we'll be done with this video, is how to actually install the motherboard screw mounts. You'll see them all standing up, sticking up here, here, and all the way around the board. These are just very simple. 1 screw, go through the back of the board, and then on the top, you're going to take the hex motherboard stand off and just screw it on there like so. Great thing about this GPU mount is, if you can see on the GPU mount, it's a hex, because it fits over the hexes here. You can actually take this, put it over, and use that GPU mount to hold the hex in place while you're screwing from the underside. Just like so. Do one more for you to kind of give you the gist of what's going on. Last one up here, same exact process. Put your screw through, put your hex on, and one thing about this hex is you don't want to change out these hex to a different size. Because this hex here is spaced perfectly for the GPU mount. So we don't want to go changing this because it'll screw up your GPU mount. So just make sure you use the ones that are included. Again, just taking the GPU mount here. Get that to go inside there because it's a hex. And basically use that to screw through and to hold it in place. And you'll do that for all the other ones. And once you have that installed, You can go ahead and flip this over. And what this does is this is going to be your bracket for holding your GPUs in shape. As you can see, it fits right underneath the motherboard, and it has all the 7 slots. Goes back on the tray like so. 2 clips. And your test bench is built. It's ready for hardware. So again, this is just a quick video on actually how to install the, all the pieces from the test bench to make, a test bench ready for hardware. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to stop by support.primochill.com, and you can always go to our Facebook and contact us through there. We really appreciate you guys blowing up Facebook in the last couple months. We've opened a new PrimoChill group called PrimoChilling in. So we can have users post their builds and post anything else that's going on with their system of PrimoChill used parts. So again, we really appreciate all your guys' support. Your support really drives us to come out with creative products like this. So again, we really appreciate it, and watch soon for a video on how to mount all the other hardware on here. So again, thank you, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.